What's up, YouTube? This is Todd Smith. I'm back with another tutorial. This is going to focus on how to create your own videos, because I got that question a few times in the comments from my own videos. Now, I do this on the cheap, really cheap, so I'm going to show you kind of the cheapest and easiest way to start getting decent recordings. Not the best, you can always improve, but you can start getting decent quality recordings, video and audio, and start uploading them to the web. All right, now we're back over my setup. The first thing you're going to need is a way to input your audio, and that's what that is over there. It's an audio interface, USB audio interface. That's a cheap out-of-print one. You can get a brand new audio interface for $100 or less. I mean, if you spend $100, you'll start to get a decent audio interface, something with like 4 inputs and so on. You can definitely spend less than $100 on an audio interface if you want. Doesn't need to be the greatest audio interface. It just needs to have some inputs. Actually, mine only has 2 mono inputs or 1 stereo. So I am running off 2 mono lines right now. I am taking 1 mono line and running it directly into my beats as a clean track, and that runs my drum track clean. Then I have a second audio line, a second mono one, which is split up by the Benringer into 4 inputs. And then my bass, my keys, my JU6, and my micro Korg are all plugged into that. And that's fed into the second mono line, and that is my wet channel. That's where my effects are. So right now I am only running 2 channels, a clean channel, drum track, and a wet channel, instrument track. Once I get something that has more than 4 mono inputs, that opens up doors. I can start to have instruments with different effects on them, and my sound's gonna start to develop more. But that's cool, that's future development. I'm pretty much at the max with this setting. I can't put anything else into this setup. I can run into the audio input of the micro Korg, but at that point it gets really hard to mix with all this going on into this 2 mono setup. So I've done that on a few jams, but I found I spend more time mixing the jam than actually just playing. So that's kind of why the micro brute is out of the equation right now. Until I get more inputs, I'm kind of stuck at just using how many pieces of gear I'm at right now. Hopefully that'll change sometime next month. Okay, so now that you know that you can actually expand, if you get something with just 2 mono inputs, you can expand it with a $20 mixer. You could expand both those mono inputs, giving you 4 mono inputs on each one of them, giving you, 8 channels out of those 2 mono inputs. So you don't really need something big and fancy to start. I do my recordings just on that. So get something with at least 2 mono inputs. At that point, you have the audio going into your computer. Everything is all ready, but you need a way to record it. They actually have a free version of Ableton Lite too, which I'll put a link down into the description on where you can pick up a free version of Ableton that'll have up to 8 audio tracks, which is more than enough for something like this where you're just beginning. I could actually be using Ableton Lite and do everything I do on my jams. I have the full version, but you could do everything I do on the free version. Now, as you can see, it's kind of bad video quality on the screen, but I am actually running Ableton right now along with my camera recording. So my PC is doubling up as my mixer / audio recorder and my video recorder at the same time. So now you have your audio interface. You've got everything plugged into it. You might need to buy a mixer to get you some extra channels. And then at that point, again, this mixer is $20, right around $20. Behringer MX 400. I'll put a link to everything down below that I'm saying. This is out of print. You're going to have to look up audio interfaces kind of yourself. There's so many options out there. Okay, so again, you're in there, you're recording your audio, you got your free version of Ableton, you're doing some stuff. Now you need the video, like I was talking about. Some people use their cell phones. You can look up options on if you have a good cell phone with a good camera, you might be able to do that. Me, I didn't have a cell phone. I had to go buy this video camera with this video camera software that you see now. This was a Logitech C900, I think it is, or I'll look up the description and I'll put a link down below too for my camera. The camera on sale was $60. So with the combination of a webcam, some gear, audio interface, free version of Ableton, you can start doing your own jams. All right, that's a quick little layout on the setup that I use to record my jams. With the audio interface and everything else, I mean, you're talking an audio interface, webcam, and maybe the mixer on top of it. You're talking $100 and $120, to start. Maybe, I mean, maybe a little more, maybe up to $200 if you get a decent audio interface, something new. If you get audio interfaces, you can get them online on the cheap all the time. People are reselling them like crazy. So, yeah, it'll work out pretty good for you. The good thing about Ableton is it comes in with some basic effects, but there's so many free effects online that you can go and download, and at that point you have tons of effects that you can throw onto your instruments that you don't have to pay for, because obviously you're a budget musician, you're trying to get some stuff on the cheap. I'll throw in a great link for a great free EQ that I use on every track down below. There's just one free VST to get you started. There's so many online that it's crazy. If you are watching this and you know other VSTs, delays, reverbs that are free and good for people to use, throw it in the comments below, because I'm not super deep into the free side of VST. So I don't know, the best stuff out there. Maybe you guys know more than me. Hey, this was my tutorial on kind of how to start videos and get your stuff moving on YouTube with very little spending. So, and you can use your PC as your recorder for your video and audio. Cheap, cheap, cheap. You have a great day. Thank you for stopping by, YouTube. Take care.